Welcome in to the Brandon the Pimp channel. This is of course the second channel of Brandon the Simp, link to that in the description if you're not subscribed already, but this is gonna be where I post strictly NFL related content. It's not gonna be any Madden here, and I'm not gonna post any regular NFL stuff on my main channel. That's gonna be all Madden rebuilds. So if you're from the main and you enjoy my just regular NFL content too, this is where you'll find that. Expect maybe one video here a week. I'm not gonna upload here much, but if we get the ball rolling here, I'll definitely start to post more, because I like talking football, clearly. And it's gonna be hard to catch these videos, because they'll be kinda random, so turn on notifications for the channel. Turn on all, it's not gonna be too many notifications, like I said, just one a week, you won't get spammed with them. But if you wanna know when I'm gonna upload, that'll be the best way to know, because I don't even know when I'm gonna post videos. But drop a like if you enjoy, let me know what you think of the picks and what you want your team to do in real life, and let's get into the mock draft. So these first few are going to be pretty chalk for me. It's going to be Bryce Young at number 1, CJ Stroud at number 2, even though I'm iffy about that because I'm not quite as high on CJ Stroud as some people. Plus today there was the whole fucking test score, whatever it's called, where he was like 16th percentile or something like that. I don't know. While other QBs were like around 90th percentile or whatever. I don't know how much to weigh into that, but I don't know if any quarterback that has scored under like 70% has been good, and he scored like 16%, so we'll see. He's basically Dak Prescott, but he had a ton of weapons at Ohio State and didn't really have to go past his first read much. We'll just see what happens there. And then for the Cardinals, I'm not going to trade down here. We're just going to go Will Anderson. And now, this is where I'm going to make maybe my first controversial pick. To the Indianapolis Colts, we are going to draft Will Levis. I've seen people be really low on him lately. I'm guessing they're just looking at his stats because his stats are not good. The reason they're not good is because he had maybe the worst college offense around him I've ever seen. It was disgusting, especially his offensive line. I do like Anthony Richardson a lot as well, but I'm guessing the Colts are gonna want to turn to their guy early. I love Gardner Minshew, but I just feel like they're not gonna be too committed to him, and he's not a super high upside guy, so they're gonna want to put in the rookie guy first. And I feel like day one, Will Levis will be better than Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, obviously more upside in the future, but Levis also has upside for the future, and he's better day one. So that would be the pick to the Colts for me, purely because I think if/when they throw their rookie guy in, Will Levis is more pro ready. He would just be better to throw into the fire because he was in the fire already at Kentucky. And then Seattle, I've kind of seen people come around more on this pick. It's going to be Jalen Carter. Obviously, massive character concerns for him. It's not just the whole racing thing and fucking killing his teammate and coach. Not directly, Jesus, but getting them killed in the street racing thing. It's not just that. It's also the pro day thing. It's the only talking to certain teams. There are definite character concerns there. I just can't speak today. I don't know why. But yeah, there are definite character concerns there, but I feel like the Seahawks have a good culture. They've had some questionable character players before, and they've been fine. They've never really been afraid of that too much, and it hasn't really bitten them when they go for those questionable character players. We'll see about Carter, though. I mean, I think he's the best defensive player in this class. Defensive line is a massive need for them, so we'll see what happens. And then Detroit at number 6. I know Lions fans like Jared Goff a lot. You know what? The Lions are actually kind of a tough team to draft for. We're going to shoot for a future dynasty here. We're going to go Anthony Richardson. Look, Goff is fine. I don't think he's some top 5 QB because he put up top 5 stats. He had an absurd offensive line, really good receiving core. His decision making is still very questionable at times. He's fine, but he's never going to be some like elite quarterback. Anthony Richardson definitely has the potential to be, though. And don't forget, this isn't like your only pick in this draft. You have other picks you can make to fill out needs and get good players in this draft. This is just getting an athletic freak at QB and seeing if you can turn them into like fucking Josh Allen or something. That's what this pick is. And if there was any team to develop a guy into Josh Allen, it ironically would be the Lions, which is a weird thing to say because it's the Lions, but again, they have a disgusting offensive line, really good receiving core, solid running back room. Like, you definitely have help around you to develop a guy like like Anthony Richardson when he eventually gets in there. And of course, he'll be developing just sitting there and learning. So I like that a lot. I'm sure Lions fans are gonna hate it. I don't give a shit. If he turns into a monster, I'm sure y'all wouldn't be complaining. Now the Las Vegas Raiders, we're just gonna go best player available. Maybe we won't. They're in a good spot because the two players left on the board here are their two biggest needs. Arguably, in corner and offensive line, we're gonna go Devin Witherspoon just because I like him so much. Just best corner in the class. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. Good pick there. And then the Falcons are kind of a weird one here. You could go receiver, you could go edge. We're just gonna go, again, best player available. Let's go Tyree Wilson. I know you just signed Bud Dupree, but I thought he was a little overrated for the Steelers, and then just he didn't really do anything for the Titans. Could rebound with the Falcons, we'll see, but I'm not drafting Tyree Wilson because you signed Bud Dupree. That's not any game changer for me there. You can never have too many pass rushers. I would love that pick if they made it. And Peter Skoronski is, the obvious pick here. We're gonna make it. Very versatile lineman. You can play him at guard, tackle, wherever. Doesn't really matter. He'll work out. I'm a big fan of him. And we are actually gonna take Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. You definitely need safety. You definitely need, well, I wouldn't even say you definitely need like receiver or interior offensive line. You have Cam Jurgens, who I like. You have Quintez Cephas as your third receiver, which he's fine, but I don't think they're big enough of needs and there's not good enough of value here to take top 10. It's a pretty good receiver and interior class later. The only other pick I would like here is maybe Brian Branch. I'm just really high on him though, so I don't know. Not the only other pick I would like, but that's definitely one I was thinking of. So Bijan is the pick. I'm not sure how Eagles fans would feel about that decision, but I guess we'll find out. The Titans at number 11. Let's go Paris Johnson here. That's the pick I think I've been making. He's a perfect scheme fit there. So yeah, overall, I really like that pick for them. You could also go someone like Quentin Johnston, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Although I do like Kyle Phillips in the slot. You wouldn't really commit to him yet, but I did like him coming out of college. So I do think they're about equal needs. I just think offensive line, Paris Johnson is a really good fit, so it makes sense. Now the Houston Texans with the 12th overall pick. I really like Lucas Van Ness here, actually. I'm a little lower on him than most people are, but just another really good fit. Just one of those kind of like mauler types, really good power. I'm talking about him like he's an offensive lineman, but yeah, he just really fits what D'Amico Ryans is gonna want to do, and I think it would be a good idea to build up that defense for D'Amico Ryans, as good of a defensive guy as he is. Again, you could also go, shut up, go away. You could also go JSN, you could go Quentin Johnston, but I like the pick of Lucas Van Ness. Now the New England Patriots are kind of a weird one. Oh, nope, we're with the Jets. I'm fucking stupid. The Jets are also a weird one though, because they don't have that many needs. The thing I see mocked to them a lot is tackle, and I definitely understand it, but you have three guys that can possibly play this year in Mekhi Becton, Dwayne Brown, and Max Mitchell. Will have to see what we can get from him, but if you don't go there, you're not really getting a linebacker here. There aren't any good enough, and I don't like taking linebacker early round one anyways. Corner, you're more than good there. You have three really good outside guys and a good slot guy. Safety is a maybe, but I like the group you have there. Yeah, offensive line is like the biggest need other than QB, but A, you're probably getting Aaron Rodgers. B, there isn't anyone you would take here. So let's go Darnell Wright. I do see him as your day one starter, but technically doesn't even have to be, depending on what you're doing with Dwayne Brown and Max Mitchell. So yeah, Darnell Wright is going to be the third tackle off the board. Now the New England Patriots are on the clock, and they're another team that doesn't really have any needs. As most of y'all saw in the Patriots rebuild I did on my main channel, I'm a Mac Jones truther. I don't really agree with them needing QB. He was good his rookie year. He was bad last year, but it was because Matt Patricia is like the worst offensive coordinator of all time. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I knew it was a mistake from the get-go, and now he's like an assistant on the Eagles or something. I don't know. Or I think it was the Eagles that just hired him. I think it was. So yeah, that's about how that worked out for him. Tackle is definitely an option here, but I actually don't mind Calvin Anderson. I don't mind Yadni Kajust. Riley Reef isn't great, but someone out of those three can probably play. Again, I don't think you're trusting them too much, but I think out of those 3 guys, you're getting a starter. You just really have no other needs. I mean, corner, I like Jonathan Jones and Jack Jones. Miles Bryant's iffy, but he's fine. Marcus Jones is fine. I don't know if I agree that corner's too much of a need for him. I guess depth is maybe a concern, but I like Sean Wade. You know what? Christian Gonzalez is still on the board. Is he the best fit here? This could be a trade down option. The Ravens make sense here. I mean, they only signed Odell on a 1 year. I think you would probably be trading up for Gonzalez, which that does also make sense. Let's do it. How much would be fair? Oh my God, I forgot you have to fucking sign up to PFF Plus. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna find a different mock draft thing after this. I like PFF. I think they're overhated, but this is fucking stupid. All right, well, I guess let's go Christian Gonzalez. I mean, he's a really good player. He's best player available, so you might as well go best player available. You can go tackle later. You're gonna be getting similar level players in the second round that you would be getting here. Not that these top guys are bad, but they're not like miles better than like a DeJuan Jones or Matt Bergeron. I do like Matt Bergeron a lot. So kind of a weird pick, but Christian Gonzalez is the pick. Now Packers, let's go Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's maybe wide receiver 1 in this class. I'm at this point higher on Quentin Johnston than most people are. I don't really get all the hate for him. He's just kind of weird catching the ball, but other than that, he's really good. He has really good run after catch ability. I compare him to like, it's a weird comp, but like Laviska Shenault if he could moss dudes. Well, he has a really low contested catch rate, but he shows flashes that he can just moss dudes. Again, the low contested catch rate is just because of his weird catching. You just have to watch him. He's a really, really interesting player. But we are gonna go Jackson Smith-Njigba for the Packers, just a safer pick. Immediate day 1 slot starter. Could also go Dalton Kincaid because you really need tight end, but again, there are other tight ends you can go later. Any passing threat is a good pick at this point, or receiving threat. And then the Washington Commanders at number 16, we're gonna go, it doesn't have corner listed as a need. Did they do something I forgot about? No, it's still just Benjamin St-Juste out there. I do like Cam Dantzler. I didn't totally get why the Vikings cut him or waived him. I'm not gonna not draft a guy because they picked him up, but if he gets an opportunity, he'll probably be good. They do kind of need tackle, but I don't mind the depth you have here now. Tight end is a need. We're gonna go tight end. We're gonna go tight end. Let's go Dalton Kincaid here. Logan Thomas is solid, but he is older and definitely has injury concerns at this point. John Bates is fine, but he's not athletic literally at all. He doesn't have very much upside. I don't really see him as a starter. He's a solid number 2 guy, but that's about it. Dalton Kincaid could legitimately be like a top 5 guy. He's pretty similar to Travis Kelce in a lot of ways. He's just a really good receiving threat, and that'll be a good receiving option for whatever QB you start. I'm a big Sam Howell fan, as some of you know, because of the rebuild I just did of them on my main channel, which after this video, if you haven't seen that already, go watch it. It was a very painful rebuild, I'll just say that. If you're into that Madden stuff, I don't know, maybe you're not, which hey, I'm not necessarily into Madden, but it's the only football game option, unfortunately. The Steelers at number 17. Are we just gonna go with yeah, let's just go with the boring option, Joey Porter. I'm going very based off the board here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because PFF's rankings are a little weird. They're not too bad. They have Tanner McKee really high. For the most part, they're not bad though. They have Sam Laporta higher than I would have him. They have Drew Sanders pretty low. These are interesting, but the Lions are up on the clock here. I'm gonna take another boom or bust player in Kalijah Kancey. This is kind of a risky first round because he could suck, but he could also be a monster. You're going with Anthony Richardson as well, who could suck, but he could be a monster. I don't know how Lions fans would feel about this. I feel like they would like Kalijah Kancey because he is a very exciting player. I guess Richardson is too, but you obviously have Goff, and they're very high on Goff, a lot higher on him than I am. So I don't know. Let me know how y'all would feel about this if you're a Lions fan or just a fucking NFL fan in general. I don't know. The Buccaneers here at 19. What the fuck do I want to do here? Their team is so bad. Receiver, you're good, but you literally... Is this team just like $20 million in cap space in debt? Like, what happened? You did sign Matt Filer, which I like, but it probably won't keep me from taking a tackle, especially because he does have guard versatility. You need a tight end. You might need a QB, but you can wait, especially because there isn't anybody here at all. Baker could be good. Kyle Trask could be okay, I guess. D-line isn't looking great. You did just draft Logan Hall, and Greg Gaines is fine, but depth is iffy. I kind of like Deidrin Sinat, though. Edge, you're good for now. Maybe. Barrett's older, and Joe Tryon hasn't worked out amazingly so far. Corner, your outside guys are good, but you don't really have a slot guy, and you're maybe thin at safety, but I really like Ryan Neal. I'm still so fucking mad at the Seahawks for letting him go. You know what? This is gonna be our Brian Branch landing spot. Weird pick, I know, but I mean, you can play him at safety, you can play him at nickel, can cover two needs. You guys can't see it, but I just flipped off my microphone on accident, going safety and nickel, like counting them on my fingers. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. Maybe a weird pick because there are still guys like Anton Harrison and Broderick Jones available, and DeJuan Jones, but it is what it is. Brian Branch is a good player. Like I said, I'm much higher on him than most people, but yeah, I don't know. There are just a lot of needs for that team, and I saw him as like probably best player available that would make sense there. And then to the Seahawks at number 20. Dude, if the Seahawks got this draft in real life, I would absolutely cum myself. Let's go Nolan Smith. Another really just high upside player. Two Georgia guys on the Seahawks defensive line now. I hope they don't switch back to a 4-3 cover 3 defense, but they might. Then this draft wouldn't make any sense if they did that, but if they do, then pretend that is Miles Murphy, I guess. I'm also assuming that they're gonna like Audibare because he's kind of similar to what Michael Bennett was. He's bigger than Bennett was, but he's similar. I think he's bigger. I can't remember how big Bennett was. Was he 275? I don't know. I wasn't as much of a football nerd when Michael Bennett was on the Seahawks, so I can't remember for sure. I should know that as a fucking Seahawks fan, one of the better Seahawks players of my lifetime, but whatever. I'm stupid. Y'all know that. But the Chargers here at 21, we are going to go, I could go Quentin Johnston. I really could. We're going to go with what I've seen the most and what kind of does make the most sense in Zay Flowers. They obviously really need speed there. I guess they did re-sign Jalen Guyton, but I'm higher on Jalen Guyton than most people are, but still Zay Flowers has more upside. I mean, the 40 time he had was concerning, but his play speed is still very quick, so he's going to be the pick there. Really, there aren't too many good, like, pure speed receivers at the top of the board here. The next one is, fucking Jalen Hyatt, but I'm not a big Jalen Hyatt fan. It seems like most people aren't anymore, which I'm glad some of my early takes are kind of panning out through other people. That was a weird way to phrase what I was trying to say, but you know what I was going to say. For the Baltimore Ravens here, you really need corner. We're going to go Deonte Banks. Kind of weird that I had him slip to 22. I would see him more going in this range, but really, I mean, the Packers pick, that makes sense. Kincaid, that makes sense. You could go corner there, I guess, so maybe have him there. Porter makes sense there, but you could have Banks instead. Lions, I guess, same deal. Bucks, you don't need an outside guy. Seahawks, kind of, but I would prefer that they didn't take a corner there. In Chargers, I guess, but you have Michael Davis, he's fine. It kind of makes sense with how I did things that Deonte Banks did fall, but yeah, the Ravens are getting a really good player here. The Minnesota Vikings at number 23. This is where we're going to take Quentin Johnston. Kind of a weird one, but you don't really have a receiver outside of Justin Jefferson. I don't mind KJ Osborne. I don't mind BC Johnson, but I don't know if they're going to be like true number 2 guys. They could be, but Quentin Johnston could be better, so we're going to take him here, and I would like if they did that. Now, the Jaguars' interior offensive line is a bit weak there. Tackle is definitely questionable. I like Walker Little, but he hasn't looked great when he's come in. He's looked fine, but not great. Evan Ingram's only on the franchise tag. I forgot about that. Ooh, you know what? Safety's weak, but there isn't really a safety here worth taking. D-line isn't great here. Let's do something fun that I've never done or really thought of. I'm sure people have thought of this before. Let's go Michael Mayer. Just another receiving threat on that offense. I mean, Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Jamal Agnew, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne, and Michael Mayer all as receiving options. Yes, please. Now, of course, you could go tackle here if you wanted to. You could go D-line. I like your outside corner group. Nickel's a bit of a concern, but there isn't really a nickel guy here. So yeah, Michael Mayer's going to be the pick, and I feel pretty good about that. And then the New York Giants. I know a lot of Giants fans are going to want receiver, but I mean, you already have so many guys here, and there isn't really anyone left that that really has the upside to be like a monster. I guess Jordan Addison theoretically could be good, but he's not super athletic. You don't take Josh Downs here. I'm gonna maybe reach. I like Osiris Torrance. Something that I saw mocked that I actually like. Where the fuck is he? Am I blind? Or do they have him ranked really low? They have John Michael Schmitz as like a second rounder? Third rounder? I don't know about that. Let's take him to the Giants here. I think this is about where I value him. Late first for me is a tiny bit of a reach, but I see him as like early to mid second round would be a good pick. Your center group is not great. I do like JC Hassenauer, to be fair, but will they like him? I don't know. So John Michael Schmitz will be the pick, and I think he would be good. Now the Dallas Cowboys, you don't really have many needs anymore, but we're gonna go defensive line. We're gonna go Brian Brzee, best player on the board in my opinion. So easy decision from me there. And we're getting down there, so if you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Of course, if you haven't already, helps out a ton, and if you've made it all the way here, you're of course enjoying. So if you want to see more of these, both of those will help you see more of these, and it helps me out too, of course. But with the Bills pick, you could honestly take this position in the first 2 rounds and I would be fine with it. Let's go Broderick Jones here. I guess I like him a little more than Anton Harrison. Is he a better fit here? I don't know, but he's a good player. He'll start immediately at right tackle more than likely. In round 2, you could even go with someone like, I don't know, Steve Avila if he's available. I'm not as high on him as most people are. You could go Chandler Zavala second or third round. I would like that. You just need interior guys here. That's really the last need on your team. I guess maybe outside corner. You could take someone, but you took Kyrie Elam last year. Christian Benford was solid as a rookie. Dane Jackson's fine. I think out of those 3 players, you're getting someone solid at least. So yeah, I like that pick. I think you should even take the same position at least in like second or the third round. Bengals are on the clock. Every time I take an offensive lineman for them, they bitch and moan. The fans do. So I guess we won't do that here. I guess they're forgetting that Joe Burrow nearly got killed his rookie year and then the next year again. But we have an overrated left tackle now, and Jonah Williams, who allowed like the most sacks in the league, and La'el Collins, who probably won't even be on the team next year. He might be. We're definitely fine at tackle. It's super great here. I don't know. Let's go. What the fuck did I do? How do I have so many positions selected? Really, what does make sense here is like an Anton Harrison or something. Do I want to make a fun pick? Is he their linebacker 1? That's valid. Maybe I'm biased as a Washington State fan, but just pick your fucking poison here. Henley, Campbell, and Sanders are all on like a similar level. They're all pretty different players. Sanders is an edge player, pretty much playing linebacker, but he is good in coverage, surprisingly. Campbell's just not super athletic, but he's a technically sound player. And then Henley is a former receiver playing linebacker. Not the best in run defense, but is pretty solid in coverage. So I don't know why I talked so much about a linebacker. I'm probably not even going to go linebacker here, but yeah, I don't know. Let's go Luke Musgrave. High upside player, didn't play much at Oregon State at all. I'm realizing as a first round pick, that's really weird. I know people really like Darnell Washington. I'm not a super big fan of him. I honestly do think he'll work out in the NFL, but I don't know. He just doesn't move super well. He looks super stiff when you watch him. I know he tested well, but I don't know. He's just really stiff. And trust me, I like it stiff, but not with my receiving options. All right, the Saints here. We're just going to go Myles Murphy. He's someone they're probably absolutely bricked up for on a Tuesday afternoon, or I guess it'll be a Thursday afternoon when the draft happens. They will be bricked up on a Thursday afternoon for Myles Murphy, whether they can get him or not. He perfectly fits their idea of what a defensive lineman should be. He's just big. Was better in 2021 than last year, just injured last year. The team was just kind of weird last year. I do think he'll be good in the NFL, for sure. Just last year he wasn't great. But if you're getting like 2021 Myles Murphy, then you're good. So he's going to be the pick there, and I don't think the Saints would be too mad about that. The Eagles here are kind of a weird one. Let's just go with the best receiver on the board in Jordan Addison. Is that what we should do? We could also go go like a Josh Downs. I am really high on Josh Downs. I'm not gonna lie. Is there a need that they have that I'm just completely forgetting about? Safety. Is there a safety here worth taking is the question. Antonio Johnson. Wait, did I take safety? No, I took Bijan. I do like Anthony Johnson. Let's go best. Wow, this is a really tough pick. Do I go Henley here or Campbell? I feel like Campbell kind of fits what they like to do at linebacker. Kind of. I mean, he's similar-ish to TJ Edwards. Not really. I mean, kind of. Let's just take Jordan Addison, best receiver available. Just make that the most disgusting receiver group ever. Not actually ever, but just a really good group. Going offense with their 2 first-round picks, that would be a fun one. And then to wrap it up, again, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know what you thought of your team's picks here and what they should do in real life, or what you want them to do at least. But with this last pick, let's go. They really don't have that great of tackle on the team right now. Let's go Anton Harrison for the final pick. Did it give me grades? Oh, go fuck yourself. Get PFF Plus to get your draft graded. I hate PFF. This shit sucks. But this is a full recap of the draft right here. Pause it if you want to look at it. Also, Kincaid at the bottom. You can't see him. But again, I hope you all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. All that garbage takes you like 5 seconds. Sounds like a lot, but it really helps me out. I hope y'all enjoyed the first ever video on this new channel. Sub to the main if you haven't already. Link in the description. But thank you all for watching, and with that, I'll see y'all in the next video sometime next week. Goodbye.